Okay, so we are going to get started today. So welcome to my channel. At some point, we are going to try to do this Google Hangout thing because I think that would be really cool. And we had a great time yesterday over on Wiley's channel. So if you're not subscribed to him, you should definitely do that. If you hadn't guessed, or if you couldn't surmise by the title of my video, we're going to be tearing apart the ANET A8 today. Yesterday we did the InStone 3D printer. So today we are going to do the ANET A8. And hello, Trolling for Dollars. And Ron, how are you? It's a great day today. It really is. It's raining. The sun's out and I have no idea. I'm so conflicted right now because it's cold, it's sunny, and it's rainy. I don't get it. So we have nippers. Oh, and new projects on the horizon. Look, making houses. How slick is that? Well, buffering. Oh, that's not good. Now that we are running on a wireless connection today, unlike normal where we use the network connecting, but I can try that. So let's try that. So I'm going to grab my network plug. Oh, and we are going to try and see if we can't do that. Maybe this will make things a little better. Why am I taking the ANET A8 apart? I am so glad you asked that question. Because it's broke and it needs a new frame anyway. So, and part of what I do that I do so well is break things. So if I'm going to break things, I may as well break things on purpose and not on accident. So, but it's not for bad, okay? I know it's a painful process to watch, okay? This is like the opposite of an unboxing video, okay? So if you're faint of heart or you have a heart condition, you may not want to watch this. Just saying. If it has an RJ45 plug on it, it gets a wired connection. I agree with you. I think that's an awesome idea. However, my other PC does not have, it does have an RJ45, but it doesn't have a wireless connection. I don't have a wireless dongle because my son's using it on his computer at home because I am too lazy to run the Cat5 cable up through the walls. And yeah, anyway, it's an old house. It's like 100 and something years old. So he needs a wireless connection. All right, so the first thing we're going to start with is tools. So we have tools. We don't need a pen right this minute, I don't think. So we're going to get that out of the way. We're going to put mice to the side. We're going to put computers to the side. No, it cannot possibly go into blue smoke this time around because it's not an unboxing video, Ron. Okay, this is a legit teardown video. And when you see what the condition of the ANET A8 is in, you will understand why I'm taking it apart. She's going to get another life. So don't think of this as destruction. Think of this as renewal. Yesterday, I got all kinds of parts off the InStone Inventor Pro, some of which were actually very high quality. And some of it, so you were stripping it for parts. Yes, sort of. But it's going to be towards the AMA end, okay? So don't freak. I know that, like I said, I know this is really hard to watch because normally this is my first printer I've ever owned, okay? But it's just sitting there and she's not well. And we have the technology. We can rebuild her. We can make her better, faster, and stronger. Maybe a Core XY. So, without further ado, and with the ability to make a giant mess of things, here she is. Oh, and you like I said, this is an acrylic frame, and the acrylic frame is not desirable, okay? The acrylic frame has done its job. This printer did print very well when I first got it. Well, I say very well. For a newbie, it printed very well. I had no idea what I was doing back when I started, much like now, although I know slightly more now than I did then. So, yeah, I need to open up my other window because I want to have you guys on both of my sides here. 6 feet away from me, and I hope it does not get its feelings hurt. Yes, please comfort it, love it, tell it that everything is going to be just fine. Daddy loves you. Yeah, I'm like I said, this has been a very difficult decision to make, but so $1 million printer. Yes, Ron. A very difficult decision to make, but oops, there we go. I have to mute myself. Okay, so now I can see you on both screens. So this is good. This is very good. All right, so let's get you up a little higher. So we're gonna. Okay, so you are going way up here. That way you can get a good view. Well, other than the mess in the background, I apologize, but there's only so much I can do. So through the process, this printer has been amazing in regards to what it put up with and what it survived. This thing has survived cats. It's survived kids. It's survived me. 1.8. Hold on one second. This is version. Oh, sorry. This is version 1.0. Is the main board. And I needed a switch, so I put a switch on this thing. And yes, it is a household switch. Look at that. See? Because back then, even I recognized the importance of having a switch on a 3D printer. So look at that. Yeah, workstations are rough. They really are. So what happened with this thing is down here, some of the stuff cracked. Over here, some of the stuff cracked. And this almost caught on fire at one point. So there's been many things that have occurred to this poor printer. So we need a space to work here. So I'm going to clean up this corner just a tiny bit real quick. For those of you that have used any cubic filament, I would love to hear your feedback on that, because I have used this Anycubic filament in the Chiron and the CR10S, and both printers have jammed up in an epic fashion. Not a big fan of that. So if you guys have any input on your experience with Anycubic filament, please let me know, because I still have one roll left and I'm afraid to use it at the moment because I really don't have the spare parts that I need to ensure that I can fix it if the world goes to pot on me. So yes. So anyway, yeah, Anycubic filament feedback would be greatly appreciated. Only in a 3D printing lab will you find cornstarch. I'm not kidding either, by the way. Literally, this is cornstarch, and it is in my lab. Along with silicone and UV resin, gator clips, and many other things. Okay, so we got enough stuff moved and put aside. So the flash point seems to occur on the build plate right here on this lovely little thing here. And I will show you. Did you see this too, by the way? Folger Technologies, LLC. This build plate, or this build tack surface from Folger Tech, worked exceptionally well, except that I'm a moron. And when I first got this, I did not understand how build tack worked. And yes, so you can see there's holes in it, and that's all my fault. I also did start printing some of the AM8 parts. I have removed the extruder. I will not be throwing Tessa's name away. Okay, so Tessa's name is going to remain with this printer. So I don't want anybody to think that, something bad is going to happen that way. Well, hello, Don. How are you, sir? This is a great day. I was going to do the Google Hangout thing, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. And so, sorry. I'm not running OBS on this computer right now because it tends to drag things down. So, yeah, one of these days I will figure out how to do the Google Hangout. Hello, Minnesota Maker. How are you today? And you get a sticker. Sorry, a little Joel telling there. I love Joel. I really do. I find that I had gone in spurts for a little bit where some of the content I was just not watching, but now he's back to keeping my interest anyway. So, all right. So yes, we have so many parts and pieces between these two printers that I think we can make something awesome. I just don't know what yet. And I'm pretty sure that I am not going to use, the little capture for the belt, the tensioner part that also kind of exploded at one point. So, yay me. So we are going to try very carefully to preserve some of this. I'm not going to preserve most of this because it just really isn't worth it. I did print these kind of these capture nuts for the I can't think today. Yes, for these the screw rods, those ones, which I can't think of right now. Those actually were, I guess I was told at some point that these were actually worse to put on your printer. So I didn't know it at the time. But I guess apparently that, like, for the rods, there's so much slack in these things, though. It's not even funny. I mean, that's got to be close to 1.5 millimeters of slack on that. So these will be ditched. They have lasted this long, though. So I'm very impressed. So what's going on with everybody today? I'm taking apart my Tesla, so I know what I'm doing. But what are you guys doing? Any new projects? Let's pull that off. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. That is on there good and tight. See, I know German. Holy cow. Oh, cowabunga. All right, we'll leave that. We'll just take the screws out. Whew. And I'm going to have to remove this. You have to forgive my unprofessional attire today, but this is a very warm room today because I'm doing the 3D printing and it's hot. 3D printers make great space heaters. Tanner, how are you, Mr. Ricky, today? I can't believe everybody's in here today. I feel so honored. I really do. I guess I should do the Google Hangout thing because it would make more sense. So somebody's going to have to walk me through a tutorial on how to establish a Google Hangout. I don't know if today is the best day to do it, but place it to a V6. Oh, one of the things, too, that I had done, I don't know where it is right now, is I did get a E3D clone hot end for this printer. Perhaps we should discuss that now or discuss that later, but I do have one in here somewhere, along with a bunch of other things. I bought... Oh, hey, look, Don. This is... Thank you, Don. Look at this. What do you see here? These look like Mark 10 silicone booties. Woo, I found them. I'll have to put that in the Don pile, along with the Mark 10 nozzles. And so now we got a good package going here for you. I'm about to get that in the mail soon. And when I get my unemployment, that will be one of the first things I do. All right, so this is the hot end that I did get for this AM8 build, but I never really did decide if that's the way I was going to go or not. So this is the the volcano kit, supposedly. I don't know how well it would work, but it is something I did get. So we do have that here. We've also got many, many, many other things in here, including, you know, the tubing and all that stuff. We got tons of stuff in here. We really do. I did do the mod for this too. This is that adjustable Z end stop, so you could, you know, fine tune the bed once it was level. It's a very good mod. So if you never did that, you should do that. Well, it looked like it was a good price for that, so that's why I got it. And that's the only reason I got it, because I really wanted that E3D, you know, V6 kind of thing. So, all right, let's get I gotta make my pile again here because I need to put the parts where they go. It's funny because I really don't know the sequence order that I want to tear this apart in, because this printer was kind of a weird build. It kind of builds from the bottom and then the sides and the top. And you probably got some of my rain, buddy, because I'm in Maine, so it's not like I'm that far. But I guess that's as the crow flies, and it's all relative, right? We tend to share weather. Or you give us weather, one or the other. Oh. All right, so I've got something going on here. Let's see. Did this thing stop again? It did. I don't understand why this thing loses connection with YouTube, but it seems to. But it's nice because I can actually kind of... Yeah, don't get too puffed up on that one, Ron. I could say the same thing. Oh. You know, this definitely would be much more rewarding as a Google Hangout. But got it going, so we're going to keep it going because I don't really have massive amounts of time today anyway. It's already 12 o'clock my time, and Mama's home sick, so I got to go check on her soon. So, but, I mean, you know, I said yesterday that I wanted to get this done. So that is what I'm doing, is getting this done. And I really want to thank everybody yesterday for such a great time on that stream. Oh my God, that was fun. Not as well as I'd like it to be going, to be fair. I think a lot of that is because I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to look for stuff. I'm going to have to spend some time doing that here today and get some more applications out there in the world. So I will be doing that once I'm done with the stream. So, but I realized, yeah, nobody wants to grow up. I realized that when you're a maker, even if you're a bad one like me, you really just want to, like, have fun. You want to innovate and make stuff. You know, it's like I look around at a lot of, you know, everybody, and I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. I mean, God, Ricky, you do some awesome work. You know, I'd love to have like 1/10 of the talent you have for, you know, design work. But yeah, I mean, creating is just fun, you know, and it's not about, it's like I tell a lot of people that I meet, They're like, they're all about the 3D printing aspect of things. And it's like, well, there's more to life than just 3D printing. Even though, like I said, I am doing the 3D printing channel mostly. I do have other things that I want to do as well, because I'm much more of I like to tinker and think, and I like to be able to make what I want to make. And you can't make everything with a 3D printer. So, I mean, there's certain things that I would love to have, a CNC machine and laser engraver. So, oh, yes, go do that, TK. And welcome. I'm sorry I didn't see you come in. So, yeah, there's a lot of different little things that, I would love to be able to do. And some of it requires 3D printing, some of it requires 3D design. Some of it requires the use of a CNC machine. Some of it requires the use of a laser engraver. So I got all these like things that I could do all in one. But again, everything costs money. I mean, I'd love to have sponsorships. I mean, that'd be great, but who wouldn't? And right now it's like, I've bought all the materials and all the machines that I have, so, and I'll probably keep doing that. Oh, yep. Drill press, lathe. I would love to have a lathe, actually. The drill press, I can modify stuff enough to get around using a drill press for a while, because most of the stuff I need, I don't really require that. But I mean, doing that, the rocket launch console, it's a great example of something that, I mean, I could have built that entire assembly if I had more machines, even a lathe. There's components that I would have really loved having a lathe for. Like if anybody has not watched him, Colin Furs does some awesome work. There's also a guy that makes jewelry, makes rings and stuff out of different materials, and he uses a lathe a lot to turn the rings from the blanks. So, I mean, there's a bunch of really cool channels where they do, lathe turning and stuff. It's like really precision stuff too. I think right now, though, like the Folger Tech CNC machine is the one that I'm eager to try out. It looked like a perfect, like kind of a workbench top, kind of machine. It looked, I would be able to work that into my arsenal of tools. A milling machine. Trying to think what I could do with a milling machine, because I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of things I could do with it, but man, now you're getting into big equipment. Although was it Micromart? Micromart has a lot of really cool, like what I call pocket-sized, like everything for like doing model building and ship building and stuff like that on like, RC scale. Shopsmiths are awesome. If you have the money to spend on it. I actually did use one long ago, and I actually turned a 4x4 or 6x6 into a sort of like a kind of think like Walking Dead baseball bat, really, where it was a big old square baseball bat, but it had like hand grips on it. What was cool too is those. I think is it the Shopsmith, but you could stand it up as a drill press, and you could turn it down and use it as a to turn wood and stuff. It was pretty awesome. All right. The one thing I don't really care about on this is this display, because honestly, I want a touchscreen because I'm high maintenance. So I like touchscreens. Table saw, lathe, disc sander, bunch of tools in one. Actually, you know those benchtop sanders. What is it? Alex Steele has some really cool stuff on his Forge channel, and some of those sanders, I would love to have some of those, because I mean, a lot of the projects that I'm working on these days requires a lot of sanding, and God, that would be so nice to have one of those. I know, was it Bobby? Can't remember his last name right off the top of my head, but he does a lot of really cool creation projects where he does a lot of artistic style work. If I think of his name, Bobby Duke. And if you haven't watched Bobby Duke, man, I'm telling you, he's hilarious and worth the time to watch. He doesn't put out a lot of videos lately, but the videos he does put out, he creates some awesome stuff. I mean, he does stonework, woodwork, resin work, like I'm just like all kinds of stuff. Let's get these out. So I wonder if these smooth rods are the same size as the Instone. Well, in fact, they are. That is awesome. So now I have 4 smooth rods the same length. And these bushings, or whatever, not bushings, the bearings they used on here are, I don't know what they are. I can't remember what they were. I think they were already pressed in when I got this. I think. I can't remember. It's so long since I put this together. That was kind of, I'm still kind of deciding on that. I was thinking about doing the AM8 because I really like the design, but I've had a bunch of my friends telling me, you know, why don't you do a Core XY? And so I really, honestly, at this moment, I don't know, because I don't have the money for the extrusions that I would need right now. I think once I do, then we'll have a much better idea on which direction I want to go. But again, I'm going to make something. I don't know if I'm going to turn this into the house printer or if I'm going to, you know, so I'm like I said, there's a bunch of different like directions I could go with this. I originally had planned on doing the AM8. That has not changed quite yet. I mean, I'm still on the fence about it, but it doesn't mean I won't do it. But I'm exploring options right now. I'm keeping my options open. But I do definitely want to get that house printer going, because, oh, that would be so much fun. It's got a, you know, quick tool change, you know, set on it, which would be neat. And it's not a design ripoff of, you know, our friends at the, why am I having a brain fart on their name? If I want a Core XY, like I said, I really don't know just yet. I'm still toying with different ideas and options. I mean, honestly, I don't have a huge rush, but I do have a lot of these rods now. Ooh, these are longer. Nice. So I'm pulling the threaded rods out too. I mean, it could be. I mean, a Core XY may be the way I go. I don't know yet. I will have to look at that, because I have not, that term, I've heard it a couple times, but I don't know specifically what it means. Are you talking about using linear rails type thing in a Core XY? Because I want to limit the number of brain fart. I keep having those. It's called trying to do 2 things at once here. Yeah, we seem to have a lot of people in our group that are much, much smarter than I am, which I think is awesome. Okay, so for people that now, if you're still watching, that means that you can stomach what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you something real quick. That way you can get an idea of what I was discussing earlier. I had to resolder this build plate. At one point when it was running in the house, this connection here had melted on the black, completely melted. The printer did not recognize it as a thermal runaway, and it stayed at temperature. Thankfully, I was in the next room, so I could smell it. I'm not really concerned that it was going to catch on fire, to be honest, but it certainly did, make a little bit of a smell. So, yes, and that's what I think is awesome about, this group. I used to be really in with some other groups, but I realized that I like being a small channel. I really do. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Being a bigger channel would be cool in some ways, but I really don't care about the big channel. So this is a long story I'm stating right now. But what happened was I was seeing a trend occurring in a lot of the other channels that I was following, and that they were all about the getting bigger, getting the free stuff, and continuing to grow, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. It's not. But I didn't realize just how much fun I was missing out on until I started, talking with you guys. And I'll be honest, and I know some of us really do want to grow bigger channels. I get that. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It's just that I've noticed that the dialogues that we have are so much more meaningful than, some of the dialogues I was having before, and I really do appreciate that. So just to say, I think that's me being long-winded. So, yep. Yeah, command line stuff, man, with that Delta printer down underneath there. If we're going to get that running, I'm going to need somebody to help me with that one. I know nothing about Delta printers, although I would really love to run it because I think it would be cool. It's a nice little printer, but they don't make it anymore. Wow, this is a little bit of a pain. Yeah. Yep, I agree, Don. And that's the thing. I really like the camaraderie. Now, I know that even with all that being said, all of the groups, for the most part, all have the same kind of end vision sort of thing. But Ron, you're going to have to explain what you just said. I'm having a hard time with it. I am no on my main machine. Oh, you're on your main machine. Okay, I got it. Never mind. Anyway, so this is what I ended up doing on the ANET A8. If you want to see how this is done, I mean, you can certainly go on to Joe's channel, 3D Maker Noob. He actually does this on one of his channel streams or videos. I can't remember which. But I desoldered the original coupler that was on here, and just basically heated each pin, removed each one, and then took it off. And then what I did is I very carefully applied heat to each one of these tabs. And what I did is I added, just mark which ones you were going to need too, by the way. So keep track of that. But honestly, the only ones that really matter is there's 6 pins. So positive, negative, they don't matter. But what does matter is your blue and green. So, because that goes down to your thermistor. And it actually, I don't know if that works either way, if it's bipolar or not, but I'm not an electrician. So all I know is I've been told that the positive and negative really don't matter because it's just completing a circuit and making a ground of sorts. It's resistance based. So anyway, yeah, I applied heat to each one of these and I pre-soldered them. So I added flux and then I soldered them using a really old soldering iron that everybody said would not work. And I think that did work. So if you want to see, does that look like it worked to you? I'm going with, yeah, that worked. So yeah. So for everybody that said it wouldn't work using an old soldering iron, I needed to have something that was stupid hot. No, you just have to have patience and don't move your soldering iron and keep heating this thing because it does dissipate heat. So the only downside is that now it's attached permanently. So that is something I'm going to have to do. 90 degrees counterclockwise and cable chain installed. Yes, I have also seen that. I opted not to do that. And the reason is because I rigged this up so there was enough tension that it wasn't hitting anything. If you're still running the stock coupler, then yeah. But right here, this is the problem. If you can see it, it's the motor on the y-axis. This is what the pins are hitting. So when it's riding back, it was hitting this and coming up. So every time it was doing that, it was, moving these wires around. As soon as I direct soldered this, it stopped doing it. So however you want to do it, but this is how I did it. And now I'm going to have to find, I have a cable secured in there. I will say that one of the nice things about this kit, though, is that they used, crosshead screws. Because if somebody said that if I said Phillips, people would get mad at me. So. That's good advice. So yeah, I mean, I had no clue at all what I was doing when I did this. And it worked brilliantly for, good grief, I can't remember how long I did it. I ran this for, but I did run it for quite a while. Yes, I did cut my wires, but that's because this is going to be something different. So it's still usable. And I have plenty of length between here and the board, so I'm not really concerned about that. So please do not cringe over me cutting wires. Like I'm going to do right here, because this is the hot end assembly, which is trashed. So, and I have plenty of extra thermistor and thermocouples. So. But the silicone wire, that is a really, really good idea. Silicone wire flexes so much better. I actually used that in the launch console that I recently was showing you guys. It just works better. It really does. It's expensive as hell. So if you're going to buy any lengths of it, but I mean, once you do it, you're done. Unless, of course, you manage to find silicone wire in something, which I might be able to help you with. I did find in some of the PC cables that everybody has about 1 billion of around their house. They do on occasion have the silicone wire in them. I did find that recently. One of the when I was doing the launch console, I had to tear apart the. I needed some wire. So rather than going out to the store and buy wire, because, everything costs money, I actually just used one of the PC power cables, like this one here. And luckily, the wire that was inside was actually a silicone wire. So not as expensive as your house. That's a good way to word it. I agree with you. Let's see. Just those across the pond. Yeah. Let's see. Installed longer, heavier silicone, secured to top cross member, which is also an option. Not as expensive as your house, which I just answered that. So yes, and I agree. Especially if you have children. Okay. I mean, you got kids, I mean, and you got a family, you want to take care of them. Or critters. Critters are kids too, man. All right, so what do we got here? We can do a couple of things. Yes, this I may throw away. I don't know. Although I do like the idea of having threaded rod kicking around. So, I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to throw anything away that's reusable. And I actually do have a project I might be able to use that threaded rod in. Because I'm working on a sword, but I think that's probably a little bit big for my my design. Welcome back, TK. All right, so this is, push that back. Yeah, and I can actually show you what happened to this belt too. The belt itself suffered heat damage when the coupler kind of disintegrated. Well, at least like I said, the black wire did, which kind of stunk a little bit. And what it did is it actually caused it to melt. So there's a big chunk on this that was not happy. All right, there's hardware in that. And anybody that thinks you're not going to need more metric bolts and you live in the United States, yeah, never throw away a metric bolt or screw. Okay? Because they are getting exceptionally difficult to find these days. And we got 2 more smooth rods to add to our collection. And we got a couple more pillow blocks that we can use, but I'm not a big fan of these. So we will decide on that later. Oh yeah, these are the monster sized ones. Country version of the ANET and make it out of printed 2020. That is a valid project. I'm trying to think if that would be something that I would have if I would really benefit from that. I love Walter's printer. I really do. It's awesome. And he's got 2 3D printed printers now, right? But I don't know that I would, like I said, I don't know if that's something I want to tackle. All right, Trolling. Thank you, bud. Metric hardware is scarce and expensive, and yes, it is. I went to Home Depot the other day, and they looked at me like I had 4 heads when I asked, hey, I need a metric something. And they're like, oh, our metric stuff's over here. And those little drawer bins that they have, the materials that are in metric are becoming more and more scarce. I mean, last year, just to give you an example, I had like several drawers worth of options for metric hardware. And then this year, it's like half the size, if not less. Buy my metric screws at Amazon, Finian, Canada. We are all metric, but screws are... yeah, right. Well, and I mean, I can do that through Amazon, but I do like to support our local businesses as well. So when I can. But yes, I have purchased my fair share of metric hardware from other sources like Amazon. Oh, this is going to be... I need a needle nose. I can use that. McMaster car. Yeah, that is a good point. If you have, like a need to have an account with them. I don't buy enough hardware, so I don't know that it's really worth it for me. But I guess if I was, then yeah, I would place an order through them. They're a really good source for pretty much any hardware needs that you may have, including I believe smooth rods, threaded rods, and other things. They do sell, I think, all kinds of stuff. And I think a lot of the stuff they do sell, you can find in Fusion 360. Because I believe there's a McMaster-Carr plugin for that. Did I just plug McMaster-Carr? Is that what I just did? Which is ironic because I've never actually bought anything from McMaster-Carr. Ever. All right, so I'm going to leave these washers on here. And I'm going to turn this notification off. I don't understand why these things do that. I did. That's all right. You know, they are a good company. They produce a lot of great products. And even though I have not directly benefited from them through my own purchasing, I have used their products at previous companies that I worked for. So yeah, there you go. Free plugs to McMaster-Carr, your source for the odd, strange hardware that you may need in association with 3D printing and 3D printing accessories. 3D printing and 3D printing accessories. It's not propane, but close enough. All right, what else we got? Take the board off. Because I think that one's in with flips. Screwdrivers, or screws, sorry. Bolts, whatever. Oh, since I'm on my channel today, I can say this too. If you guys have not seen the new project I'm working on, I guess, is it Nilla Bean, Nilla Wafer? I can't remember the name of the channel. And several other people. Ooh, there's a SD card in that. I'm going to keep that over here, my little SD card pile. So there's nothing wrong with this board at all, by the way. And this is a very easy board to reconfigure for a touchscreen monitor, from what I've been told. So we're going to keep that around because we know it works. Unlike the other board we pulled out yesterday from the InStone Inventor Pro, we do not know if that board actually works or not. Don't worry, we will find a way to test this stuff. You know, maybe we'll build like some kind of weird musical pulley system that we can set up on the workbench once in a while, and then just plug in some like random codes and stuff so we can like have a bunch of stepper motors making music. It could be a musical instrument until it is something else. All right, so what else we got here? We got cables that are in DeVay, cables that are not in DeVay. All right, so we're going to take that one out. Oh, nuts. No, literally, one of them fell on the floor somewhere. Oh, there it is. Oh, God, it's so nice to have a lab, by the way, because you can see things when they fall on the floor. Oh, I can't tell you how nice that is. This is the weirdest video or weirdest stream I have ever done because it's like it's completely opposite of like what I would normally do in a stream. Normally it'd be like, hey, let's put something together and see if I can do it without making blue smoke. Well, today it's, hey, let's tear it apart. It almost feels wrong in a way. I know many of you are probably saying the same thing. Oh my God, why are you doing that? But you know, it has to be done. It must be done. I'm gonna have to get some totes and containers though, so I can sort all the parts out because I really, like I said, I want to keep the parts. I don't want to lose them. So without hurting myself. Yes, yesterday I did not hurt myself. I don't know if I did today or not. I don't think so. It doesn't look it. Just dirty. I'm sneezing. Sorry. Oh, good grief. I don't know what's up with it. It's like either allergies or I just got a lingering cold that will not go away because I cannot stop sneezing. Well done for now. Day ain't over yet, buddy. I could still injure myself. All right. So this one. Yeah, I'm realizing how fortunate I feel right now for having this as my first printer. It's almost all of it was put in with like real easy to use screws. I mean, these are all Phillips head screws. That's ridiculously awesome. I didn't appreciate it at the time because I didn't know better, but all the printers I've assembled since require all Allen head screws. Everything. You may want to look at thing 1091639 on Thingiverse. All right. You give me 1 sec and we'll do that. I can take a break for a moment. Let's take a look. So we go to the Thingiverse. If I can figure out how to navigate this thing. All right. And you said 1091639. All right, what does that get me? The Prusa i3 rework in aluminium. Yeah, but I don't know that I want a Prusa machine right now. So I could definitely keep that on the burner as an option. Sorry, I'm just checking the motor. And see if it had any weird like spots in it that didn't feel right. So much for being able to use this tool. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Torx do not work for Allen removal all the time, but sometimes you get lucky. I have attempted to get 2 or 3 different kits with Allens in them, and they all fell through. So I'm still working on that. I did find some really nice tools through my vendor that I was debating on actually assembling a 3D printing assembly and testing kit. I realized that could be seen as like, trying to do something like Filament Friday did, but it's not. That's not exactly the same. It's different tools, and it's my version of that essentially. But my problem is I can't get that price that low because some of the tools I found are actually pretty nice, and I like nice things, so that's my fault, I guess. I should be a cheaper date. Oh, I got to switch back to the other screen. Thank you for that, Ron. Now the mouse is not working. Why is the mouse not working? Oh, there it goes. There we go. I bought this printer more than 2 years ago. This was the first printer I owned. And also what got me into streaming, other than Joel Telling and 3D Maker noob. I mean, I remember when Joe just started doing videos. I remember his very first video. And Joel had some really inspirational videos. I'd been researching 3D printers for a good 4 to 5 years before I finally actually bit the bullet and got one. And I found this for less than $200. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get it. And, you know, I did my typical stupid thing when I, you know, starting a YouTube channel. Hey, let's see if we can make something interesting. I had a crappy camera. I even had a crappy cell phone. So, and I thought, you know, I'm going to do the YouTube thing because that's what other people are doing. I suffer from the same affliction that many other people suffer from. I suffer from, I don't know about it, therefore it doesn't actually happen syndrome. Mike, how are you, buddy? Does my wife buy me pretty things? No, but I'm hoping you do. See, I knew I should have done this as a freaking hangout. Holy crap. I just don't have to worry about talking over you today, Mike, because you can just text at me all you want. Oh, and you know what I just realized too is I don't have a single mod in my channel right now. Not one. Not that it matters, but it's just kind of funny. All right, so we got number 3. Number 4 is already out. So number 5. That's all I got left is this one here. Oh, and the end stop, which is pretty much garbage anyway, but you know, a part's a part, so I'll keep it. Yeah, I know. Well, I haven't figured out how to do the hangout thing yet. Don said he would walk me through that. So I will learn so we can do that next time. Because, you know, like I said, after yesterday, oh my God, that was funny. I was dying yesterday. I felt bad for you too, Mike, because I know that you got cut off a lot more than normal. But, you know. But other than that, that was an exceptional stream yesterday. It really was. But then again, I mean, it seems like most of them are. And I don't know, maybe we'll look at having Chuck, see if Chuck wants to come on in a few weeks and hang out with us. So I may have a couple of people in the Google Hangouts with me, and we'll ask Chuck questions about, you know, how Myst was created, and we can maybe talk about his new game that he's getting ready to release. I'm trying to get some of the 3D assets from the engine. So, and he told me that we'd work together on that. So, and what I'd like to do is 3D print some of those assets from the new game that he's making. I did ask him about getting some assets from the Myst game, so I could maybe 3D print some of that as well. But we will see. Because I know there's some really beautiful buildings that he's designed and stuff in the game. So I think that would be a lot of fun. So if that's something you guys want, I will ask him and see if he'd be willing to, you know, come on and do a hangout with us. He's really busy, though. He's got this game he's working on now, and they are releasing beta this week for it. So you can look at Eager Games for that. I believe they've already published an announcement on the game. I don't want to plug the actual name of the game on my stream, though. So, but yeah, you know, you guys let me know. Think about it. You don't have to answer me now, but I would certainly be happy to ask him. I don't see why he wouldn't. He's a pretty cool guy. He likes 3D printing, too. He just doesn't have a 3D printer. But he does have a drone. He's got one of those DJIs, which he was going to show me, but I wasn't here the day he took it out and went flying around with it. Okay. Well, then I will see what his terms are for that. Because like I said, I know he's busy. He's also a night owl, because he does most of his development work at night. So he kind of sleeps on and off during the day. Mostly because a lot of the guys that work with him are in different time zones, so they have to kind of, work together. So, but yeah, I will absolutely ask him and see what he says. Yeah, I used to be long ago, and it's easy to fall back into that habit too, by the way, especially when you're depressed and stuff like that. But has not about the only thing I've got going on lately is just an inability to sleep well. But it's stress related. Before you tell me about the sleeping stuff, Don. So I don't know if I want to go all the way through. Yeah, I do. Actually, I want to take this whole thing apart. Yeah, I think you guys would like Chuck anyway. He's very similar to the rest of us. He's odd, just like all of us. Wow, look at that! Another something fell. Oh, another nut. I found a nut. Fell out. Oh man, it seems like this thing comes apart a lot faster than it goes together. That's right. I forgot you did get to talk to him briefly, didn't you, on the Discord? Because I was talking to him that day. He got such a kick out of that too, by the way. I told him I took you guys off guard with it. He's like, "You're mean." I was like, "I know," but it was still funny. Yeah, he's not above hijinks either. Oh, yay, look, things falling apart. Yes. In a good way, not a bad way. Well, we are running out of objects to stab myself with. It's probably not a good thing. You may not see me get injured today. Used to be on call 24/7, no holidays, even worked over Christmas with the online game I was working on. Yes, I can understand that, TK. I've had a few jobs where I was on call 24/7, but not for the same reason. I are not smart enough to do stuff like that, although I will be, if you guys want to know the truth, I am looking for an app developer. Perhaps an app developer and an artist. I have a project that I'm working on that I will be discussing with the Small Business Administration tomorrow. And I will say that if anybody knows anybody that is really good in that end, just get a hold of me and let me know. I don't know about money at this point, but because, I have none. This is a project. So with new projects comes risk. The requirement I have is that it needs to be compatible with both Android devices and the Google Play app in the Windows 10, because it needs to be able to run on Windows 10 platform. So anybody that's interested in working on that project, just let me know. I do not have anything posted about this project in my Patreon, so this is a little outside of that because of the sensitive nature of the information. But I would be more than willing to, discuss, that. So I am not actively looking for somebody at the moment. However, if somebody did approach me, I would be happy to bring them in and start the dialogue. But again, remember, I got to be careful too. It's very sensitive information. And if somebody else got a hold of it, well, then there goes my livelihood. So, yes. And it's not that I don't trust you guys, because I definitely do. It's just that I have to be cautious. You know how that is. Cool. Oh, connection lost to the mouse. It's This mouse is weird. Yeah. Well, just have him get a hold of me if that's something he wants. The graphics have to be somewhat high end, but not like ridiculous. And it's going to be animations as well. So it's looped animations though. So nothing like continuous animations, but well, that I know of, unless of course that person decides that might be a good way to go. I'm not the artist. So, but it'll be a fun project. You guys will know more about it soon. I promise. But yeah, so I know, and Chuck may actually help me with that one a little bit as well. But as you know, like I said, he is extremely busy right now, and I don't have time to wait for his schedule to free up. He's going to be quite busy for a while. And, if I'm going to pay my bills, I either need to get hot or get off the pot kind of thing. So, yeah. Oh, I totally agree with you, TK. I have a legal friend that I would be working with as well. So, yeah, I'm not disclosing specific information about the engine or the assets that are involved right now. I need to know, like I said, I need to know that I can trust the person. I prefer to work with people that I know, because even people it's a risk. But, I like to believe that, I like to see the good in people first before I jump to conclusions, but I also have to be smart, and that's a stretch for me. So there you go. And you're all dying. You're like, oh my God, what are you talking about? Sorry. I'll partner with Mike. I'll tell Mike everything. You watch, Mike's not even on right now, so he didn't hear that. Oh, there we go. Finally. Get this thing apart. Oop, I dropped my nut. Wow, I gotta tell you, these things fit on there great. What did you do now? Nothing. I made a comment about you, and if you didn't hear it, well, that's on you. I'm just messing with you. I was talking about I need somebody to help me develop an app. But there's art involved, and there's app development involvement, and it's got to be compatible with Android and Google Play, and yeah, that stuff. So anyway, I know, TK, but you also know some of the information. You just don't know some of the information, because I've asked you questions that were directly related to it. Meh, meh, meh. No, that's the thing. And the industry has changed significantly. What I'm proposing to do is actually, ironically, it's a hybrid 70s and 80s product, if that helps clear mud up a little. Probably not, but, and it's like I said, it's been something that I have been into for many years, and I have found a spot that I really think could use improvement. The only downside to it is that I have to work really, really carefully because of the proximity to existing trademarks and IPs. So I'm not stealing an idea from anybody, but it is very similar in ways to stuff. So, and TK, like I said, I mean, if you want to work with me on it, you just, let me know what you can do, and, I can give you something. to, try out and see if it's going to work out or not. And like I said, please, if anybody ends up like actually doing this with me, I'm not an a-hole. Okay. It's just that I have to, I have to cover my derriere as well. Just like you guys. So if I'm a little cryptic, I apologize, but all right, so we've got the ANET taken apart. So ANET is now right over there. Yeah, I know. It's Tessa, not ANET, but it was funny. I had to say it. Got some bits and bobs and pieces and pots and things and stuff. It's amazing that most of that printer fits in the trash can, just like that. So, no, the frame is really not worth it. It, honest to God, is not worth the price. There's like 4 working components on that frame. The rest of it's broken, which I don't know if you could see when I was taking it apart, but the assembly was actually cracking. So there was actually parts when I took it apart that were just going. So the only thing holding them together was the nuts. The X ditched and cut up and hidden about the house. Huh. Well. And my burnt coffee. So I can't believe I did that. Burnt coffee is no fun, but it is no laughing matter. All right, so you guys, I'm going to show you this last thing before we get off the stream. I know it's not a Google Hangout, so I'm not going to be on here for like 5 hours because Mike's got patience for that. I have got things to do. I've got to go check on Mama, make sure she's doing all right because she was feeling sick today. So when I get home and see how she's doing, if I need to make her something for lunch, which I know it's a little late for lunch, but I'm an a-hole. Sorry. All right. So, yes. So the project that I'm working on that I do have on my Patreon page, and you can have access to it if you're a paid Patreon. So if you want to do it, give me $1. All right. It's not that big a deal. It's $1. Okay. At least if you have a job, it's not a big deal. So what I'm working on is these are game tile sets. So this is your customizable gaming tiles that you can use to make different scenarios, different, thingies. So what I've done is I've made, I gooped on some paint. This is pre-alpha, so it's not like it's not a completed build by any stretch of the imagination at this point. Right now, it is just kind of a concept. So I'm trying to iron out the specific details on what I want to do with it. So, I have to start with something. So this is what I've started with. So now we'll bring you down a little bit so you can get a better look. I know some of you have probably already seen this a little bit, but, now you get to see it again. So I've done windows because one of my game master buddies said, it needs windows and doors. And I said, okay. So I put in windows and doors. I was working on trying to see if I could do this with magnets at first. Then I realized that magnets are going to be extremely limited and that wouldn't work out so well. So 5 hours goes fast. Yes, it does. But I also have to look for a job today. I have to at least apply for one job today. So I have a limited amount of time to do so before my children start being required to get picked up. So anyway, the premise on this was to come up with, something that could be easily manipulated and functional and So I have been working on this for a little bit. And yes, I did show it to Chuck because he did pop over for a little bit. So couldn't help it. Had to do it. I was like, Chuck, you got to see this. But yeah, so anyway, like I said, it's a customizable kit. So you can do whatever you want with it. I have to figure out how I want to secure this. Some people have been telling me it's like I should use something like the dragon connectors and stuff like that. And I'm not wanting to do that because my buddy that does tabletop games mentioned that he has issues with the connections and pulling them apart because I don't know. It's just, he doesn't want to have to flip the board over. He wants to be able to just kind of, take parts out as needed. So that's what I'm working on. So yeah, well, these are, like I said, there's 7 parts right now that I've got in total. So, I mean, I've got this one, get the wall piece, floor tile. I think this is the other one. Nope, that's the same one. So I've got 2 floor tiles, 1 wall. I've got a corner wall. And then we've got the window, or the door, sorry, and the window, which, they're the kind of the same model, but I just extruded the door frame up for the window. And those are, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so there's 7 pieces total right now that I've worked on. This one is actually these 2 tiles, and then some of them were flipped and put together on the in Simplify 3D, which that was a giant pain in the butt. So if anybody knows an easy way to connect parts together in Fusion or in Simplify 3D, let me know, because I had to manually stitch these together and that sucked. But yeah, as you can see, there's like 2 patterns on here and they were turned a little bit. So, but my friend was telling me, he's like, he didn't like the lines that I had. Well, here, it's easier to show you in this one. I had lines going in the middle here and then across here. These were 1 by 1 tiles. So, because that's kind of, I guess, what the game's kind of based around, or this version. So these would be compatible with other tile games, which is why I did it, because I wanted to make sure that, people have more options. If you don't have something, if I don't have something you like, then maybe you could find something you do like to add to this. So maybe there's parts you like of mine that you want to add to somebody else's stuff. So it's kind of, it's work in progress, I guess. These are all like little hand modeled stones, by the way. Yeah, in Fusion 360. So if you want to see how I did that, I could certainly show you that on a video soon, if that's what you want. But anyway, so yeah, from nothing to something. That's what I love about 3D printing and 3D design. Even stupid people like me can come up with this kind of stuff. I mean, this really, I've got probably a couple days into it right now, because this is the second version of this. The original tiles, like I said, actually 3rd version, sorry. Original tiles were too thick. They had the lines. I had to get rid of the lines, so I did. Unfortunately, when you put these parts together, you end up with lines. So like you can see here, there you have a line, but it's very subtle. So that this is the end of the 2-inch tile. Oops, wrong way. So it's like from here to here is 2-inch, from here to here is 4-inch. So that's kind of how you know. So, but hopefully you found that interesting. If you didn't, well, oh well. I found it interesting. I have a great time doing this. Just like printing the house that's going on in the background, which you guys can't see. But yeah, I'm trying not to print a whole lot of like knick-knack doodads. Oh, and my daughter made sure to include a scale hero. So I have a scale hero to go on my little set here. Well, thank you, Don. So my hero can be right there. See, my hero stands there, and it's close to scale. Like I said, these are half walls. These are not full length walls. I have some bits and bobs that I have to add to this, but I'm going to have this here with me tomorrow as well for the person coming from the SBA. This was kind of last night's project, which had a friend of mine model for me, which I really appreciate. I don't like having to model everything, so it's always nice when somebody's willing to help me out with it. So again, you know, partnerships happen like this. It's like, hey, can you do this? Somebody says, yeah, I can. So yeah, this is a house that's based off a real design, which you could see that's the second floor of, where the this is the like the front porch roof right here. So, and then I got the roof to do, and then I get to go present that to the company that I am doing that work for. Well, I'm trying to do that work for. Let's just put it that way. So, because you know, you gotta get yourself out there sometimes in order to find out if people are interested in your ideas. Oh, there we go. You're taller. So yeah, that is pretty much the extent of my working stuff. I've got to get a container in here for the parts, because now we have several stepper motors, and we have several smooth rods. So I guess at this point, it's, do we want to try and build something using the parts we have, which I think is probably a good idea. Because right now, this is the list of parts for the smooth rods that we have. So we got a bunch of smooth rods. We got some, whatever, these rods, the threaded ones that, well, not threaded, but they're the, you know, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with words today. These we will not use for probably anything on this. So I'm going to just ditch those somewhere else for now. And then we've got, let's see, what do we got? We've got motor. We got another one in here, so we'll pull that one out for the extruder. All right, we got this one, and then we've got these ones, which I need to take apart. What is? Oh. Have to put a smaller screw in that, but for now, who cares? I'm gonna pull that one apart. I know I've got more motors. I just don't remember where I stuck them. But either way, so we got power supplies. We've got driver boards. We've got, oh, there's the motor. We've got some really nice bearings, bushings, whatever you want to call them. Those are cool. I like these much better than I like the pillow block ones. Although this is solid aluminum. So, and these do have rings in them. So this will be a question as to which direction we want to go with that. They feel kind of rough though compared to the other ones. And I think it's because there's just a little bit of, you can see the play in that. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. These ones I do like because there's, you can see that the difference, there's like hardly any play in there. I mean, there's still some there, but it's hardly, and it's much smoother, much quieter. So that is one option. I don't have any linear rails though. So that's a problem. But we do have these big fat monster smooth rods as well. I mean, these things are just nasty little bastards. Buggers. Sorry. I got to clean a bunch of this stuff up, though. It's really filthy. Oh, and what else we got? We've got 2 heated build plates, of which the one I'm much more impressed, which is the one from the InStone. But it's not very big, so I don't know. We do have some of these, which these are very nice. I would definitely consider using these. These are extremely nice. I like those. So we'll probably reuse those. What did I do with the rod for that one? Or did I already put it over here? I've got 2 here, but I'm missing one. I'm missing a rod. Oh, here it is. I have discovered its location. Ah, that's why it was still attached to a motor. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because this one's attached to the entire harness. What a dumb thing to do. All right, so we got this other motor too, but like I said, it's in a crappy situation because it's attached to everything. This is why I don't like these motors. I don't like that they're directly attached. So I don't know. This one may have more torque though than the other ones. So I'm 100% sure about that. There we go. So now we got another one. Because I remember seeing these on Amazon. They're still a NEMA 17, but I think these had a different voltage rating on them. Because the shaft goes all the way through on this. I mean, this thing is screwed all the way to the bottom. So I've never taken one of these apart, so I don't know. But that limits our Z height if we use that for our Z axis. Then I got all this garbage on the floor. I got the power switch pre-wired. That's cool. I'll probably keep that for sure. We'll use that for something else. I don't know what else. We got anything else that we want to add? Because I think this is a really good start to doing something. I just don't know what yet. We got 2 complete harnesses and belts and bobs that we need to figure out. We can join Mike in the LED club because this one did have LEDs attached to it, so we could also do that. See, USB port. What? Print a printer. You think I'm smart enough to print a printer? Because if you do, man, I've got you fooled. I mean, we could, I suppose. But we've got the option of a dual lead screw here. And we got the option of a single lead screw there. We've got this carriage here, which would not actually, we wouldn't have to use this same dimension. We could certainly add, we could make it much bigger than this. This is very sturdy. So, I mean, that would be certainly an option. Yeah, I mean, I could do that. I could. It's just, I mean, that's like Walter's thing. I don't want to jump on Walter's thing. But, I mean, I could, I guess. I just need to think about what kind of thing I want to do. SD card reader, USB port. Oh, okay. I got you now. Yeah, but if I did that, I wouldn't be able to use either of these boards. Well, yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. It's like we all like to do different things so we can, collaborate and come up with new and creative things together. I mean, if I do the same thing everybody else does, then we're not innovating anything. We're just doing the same thing somebody else did. So, and we got all these parts. I mean, there's got to be something we can do with all these parts. I mean, really. I mean, yes, I could do, a 3D printed printer, but if we do that, why not do it differently? Why we don't want to do a Prusa? That's Walter's thing. Let Walter have that because Walter did an awesome job with it. I'm more interested in doing something different that really hasn't been done. So, what hasn't been done that we can grow on? A nice Core XY. I don't know how nice it would be if we 3D printed the extrusions, though. We could try it, though. Love's not lost. Be nice. CNC, not with 3D printed extrusions. I would definitely not do that. That would apply an extreme amount of stress because, I mean, you think you need a specific type of spindle for the CNC to work. And if you're articulating that over, even if you did like a Core XY CNC, that stress on that pendulum, I mean, from that, because that's a high torque motor spinning on that. I mean, if you were babying it, maybe you could get away with it, but so I don't know. Could you build Octoprint into the printer? I've never even used Octoprint. I have this ready to go for Octoprint. I think we could do something with Octoprint for sure. I could contact Paul and have him come out and do another stream with me, and maybe we can work out something with with that. So I don't see why not. So okay, before I kill the stream, I need to clear the table. Hold on. I brought all this stuff back over here, and I should have just left it over there. All right, so let's pick up all these. Put these, I don't know, over here somewhere. I don't want them to get all damaged and stuff, but I'm, they're parts, so we'll try to be as gentle as possible. This could be fun, though. So I got an idea here. I've got an idea. You said thing. Hold on. I haven't looked at it yet. Let me get these boards out of here. Thankfully, these things are not near as ESD sensitive as stuff in the old days was. There's again, we could just not make a printer as well, but making a printer is always more fun. But all right, so all the parts, well, majority of the parts are now on the table. That's what I had to do is 3D print some extrusions so I can make some shelving or some bins. Bins, that would be a good idea. An adventure. Okay, so we have paper. See, TK, you got a point there with the laser. I kind of like that one too. I like a laser, but I don't have a laser. I do have two hot ends. So, all right, so let's see. So first off, let's look at this thing. 724999. Let's see it. 724999. Go. This is a something. What is it? Oh, I got more than one. Hold on. 724999. I put that in. Oh, you're talking about Vicious? Vicious is mostly 3D printed printer. Vicious 1, sorry. Yes. I actually have those schematics, if that's the one you're referring to. Pew pew. We like pew pew. Pew pew pew. Mostly printed CNC Burley. Yes, that's what that is. It's Vicious One, I believe, is the creator of that. I've actually had that project on my workbench for a year and a half now, I think. 2 years. It's been out for a while. So, okay, so let me see here. Nice Core XY, which not impossible. We're thinking CNC, laser, 3D printer, pew pew. We like lasers. If we're gonna do this, though, it'd be like a 3D printer / laser, pew pew, because I can't help it. I really like that. Element 14 7-inch touchscreen is a great addition to the Octoprint Pi. Well, again, no money. Hello, but I will write it down. Element 14 7-inch touchscreen. I don't know what the biggest touchscreen I have is right now. I think the one that came off of the InStone Inventor Pro, this one is the biggest one I've got right now. This is a 2x3. So yes, that was a very sophisticated measurement using my finger. I have a calibrated finger. All right, so what else are we looking at here? So we want to make it work with Octoprint. Work with Octoprint. Well, the question is, are we going to build the house printer with these parts, or are we going to just build a printer with these parts? That's the question. No, Mike, never say those words, man. Those are evil words. I never think. You know that. I react. Okay, so let me think here. We're talking about doing possibly a 3D printed printer. Okay. What else? What is a house printer? Oh, trolling. You've never heard about my house printer? Printer is a printer. What? Okay. Anyway, well, if you're not familiar with my house printer, it's different than the FK1. Okay. So if you're familiar with the FK1, it's helpful because they're similar concepts in a way. The house printer, the reason I want to call it a house printer is because, well, it's going to look like a house because it's a gag. The house printer is fairly large. It would be able to print up to an R2-D2 dome in one print. It could also do Mandalorian chest piece armor or Stormtrooper armor in one print. So that's the bed size, which is maximum Z height would be 5. Max Z would be 500, and there isn't a fixed size for the X and Y yet. But the bed does not move either. Yes, it's very large, which is why I was looking at the more Struder from the Lulzbot Taz because of that. That's not the end be all end all of things. I know that. And I think that's me and Mike were talking about that yesterday. Sometimes, being realistic with cheaper parts is more realistic. So that's something that I'm still figuring out. But the big part is it's got to be an easily removable tool head. So if I was going to do a configuration change between a laser and a 3D print, I need to be able to do that within 2 minutes. That's the goal. Plus, it would have a secondary power supply built into it that would allow me to do a workbench to work on tool heads. So it would all be either magnetically mounted or quick release type stuff. But it has to fit exactly the same every single time. That way the calibration doesn't get screwed up. In the breakout side, which would be to the side of it, which, like I said, it's going to be looking like a house. So attached to the house is the garage. Okay, the garage, opens up and it's got a tool head mount for it inside. You can hook to it. It leaves the opening underneath, so you don't have to worry about trying to like look up at stuff when you're jamming needles into it. It also has a thermocoupler and power. Well, it's not. It's going to be able to read a thermocoupler and the heater cartridge, so you can sit there and either with a dial or whatever set the temperature to what you want to preheat it. That way, if you need to work on a tool while the printer's working, you can do that. Yeah, basically. Like I said, it's a gimmicky thing. It's more for the kids, so kids can see it. It would not be an easy build because well, you said it. I mean, dollhouse. It's not going to be an easy build, but it needs to be big. It needs to be like dollhouse size. I mean, that's the idea behind this. 4 foot by 8 foot by 4 foot Z. I couldn't go that high on the Z. I do not know of a way to make a printer that large, structurally stable and freestanding. I would have to anchor that to the wall, at least from my experience, but I am not a mechanical engineer. So, but for me, it's about I mean, imagine having to square up a frame that size. Oh my God. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but God, you think big. You think way bigger than I do, and that's impressive. Because, I mean, that is, like I said, the idea is to build a big printer. But what I want to be able to do for anybody that doesn't know, which I think I say that an awful lot. If you don't know, well, I don't know how many people watch my channel on a regular basis because I don't really look at the statistics. But this is the R2D2 dome, and it's not done yet. But the idea would be to be able to print Michael Badelli. Is Michael Badelli, right? Mike Badelli. Badelli. Yeah. Anyway, his dome in one piece. Because I do need to get this R2D2 print done sooner or later. So that would be the biggest reason for wanting something like the more Struder, because it's got such a large diameter hot end nozzle. Although my biggest problem is it's 2.85 millimeter filament, which seems to be phasing out rapidly. So I would need to figure out if there's a way to convert that to a 1.75 millimeter filament instead of a 2.85. So, with what? I see extrusions, but what is that? 100x100. Oh, yeah, I haven't done that. Don't intend to. Oh, but I am running out of minutes. Okay, so real quick. Oh, no, it's okay, trolling. I love the interaction, believe me. So, and sorry for taking so long to get back to that one. So, Core XY, CNC laser 3D printer, Element 14, 7-inch touchscreen with Octoprint. Possibly 3D printed printer, which I don't think on the big side that would work. No rods, linear rails. I completely agree with you. Linear rails. But you got to remember, I have smooth rods here if I wanted to make a smaller printer. Linear rails, not smooth rods. Now, that leads me into the next question because I don't want to use ball screws. I really don't. I don't think that, dimensionally speaking, they are accurate, or they are accurate enough. I want a stupid proof 3D printer that you can address and walk away and not worry about the bed's not level today, but it was level yesterday. And you know what I'm talking about. And I don't know that I really like that. I mean, the other thing I got to figure out too is, while I do like the optical sensors, like I did say yesterday, because they're quiet, I need to figure out what's more accurate. Single start lead screws. Okay, I don't know that term. Remember, I'm stupid, so I will write that down and I'll look it up. Well, one of the things that I would love to do is okay. No, I've got it written down, Ron. But one of the things I want to do is see if we can come up with something to change 3D printers. I mean, they look the same now. And it's really unfortunate because, I mean, yeah, they're getting bigger, but they look the same. Where's the ingenuity? There's a couple of really cool companies that are coming up with new stuff. Okay, I get that. And if you're into the multicolor thing, that's cool. But I definitely don't care. I really don't. Okay, hold on. I will write that down. I've watched some of Chris's stuff. I honestly, I haven't had the time lately to watch his stuff. I love Chris though. Chris does an awesome job. Here's Basement Lead Screw, and I may have seen that one actually because it does sound familiar. So I will look at that. Thank Daniel for that piece of information, right? I have seen stuff on a lot of the hanging printers. I am not going to go there. And the reason I'm not going to go there is because there's way too many things that can go wrong with hanging printers. I mean, really, absolutely. The caliber. Did you see Tom Sandlander when he was doing that install? Yeah, no, it's okay. I'll pass on the hanging printer right now until things get a little easier. Now, I did think about doing a remote controlled spider that was also a 3D printer. I thought that would be cool. So let that bake in your noodle. A remote controlled spider that could sit down on a surface and 3D print stuff for you. Yeah. Well, essentially, yeah, because I mean, you've got your largest section would be on the outside, and then it all gets narrower and narrower as you go to the top. And you're on piece, contact me in Discord. Okay. Yeah. Which one are you talking about? The 3D printed walking or the 3D printer walking spider RC project that I would never have a chance in hell at making. Oh, Hangout. Yes. No, I will do that, Don. Thank you. I would love to do that because, like I said, I think this would have been much more beneficial as a hangout today, with Mike and everybody and Don, Ron. It's just, Ricky. I mean, I can figure out how to do it through OBS, but I was not running OBS today, so be fun. Yeah, lays down filament when it walks about. Well, and it was funny you should say that too, because initially I thought, I'll do a remote control car, and then I'm like, that's not stable enough. You need something that actually can give itself more height, and a spider is a great idea for that because while it can have articulated legs and stuff like that, or be a hexapod or whatever it's called, you can also put in a mini like pneumatic structure so it can actually lift itself up on its same walking legs, but not affect its ability to, stay stable. Oh, okay. I might be able to be there in a few. I'm gonna have to get off here anyway because I've really got to get over to the house and help see if she needs lunch. Yeah, right. That would be cool. Yeah, something like the Mars rover. Although, to be honest, I asked Elon. I sent Elon Musk a message on Twitter once, asking him if he would consider making me one of those an electric powered rover, like the ones from Lost in Space, the new series. That would be freaking awesome. I want an RV that looks like that. I mean, come on, an electric recreational vehicle. Let that stew in your head and why I don't have a really good job. Why did you delete that? The spiders would overrun us. Maybe. It could happen. Just like the robots could take over the world. The artificial intelligence will make robots. Then those robots will make spiders, and they will take over the world. I should actually write my book one of these days. Good grief. All right. Anything else? Because you could post to Don's Discord as well, and put in messages. Maybe Don will stick a little tab in there, ideas for Clyde's printer. But I mean, it's one of those things where, I'd be happy to work with you guys on anything. I say that all the time. I tell people, it's like, you know what? Email me. My contact information is in my YouTube or about me page. You want to send me something to look at. Well, my address is in there. I'm easy to get a hold of. So if there's anything you want to, contribute, like in terms of like project ideas, message me. I'm on Twitter. I have my own group on Facebook. I've got an email address. Some people do. TK's emailed me. Rover's emailed me. So, it's like I'm reachable. So if you got ideas, man, just shoot them at me. I'm good with it. So I'm trying to think what else. But yeah, this is a great project. We've got spare parts. Let's do something with them. Because, that's what this is about too. It's not just about having 3D printers. It's about, what do you do when a 3D printer dies and you really just don't want to fix it anymore because there's newer, better, cheaper, and you've got more than you need? That's what this is about. Let's do something new. This is like the ultimate reboxing, instead of unboxing, we're tearing apart stuff and making new stuff out of it. So let's make a new printer. So anyway, it looks like everybody has slowed down in the chat. So I think I'm going to probably kill the stream. So yes, we will do a discussion. I don't care about saving the environment, TK. Well, okay, I do. But what I mean by that is that I want to use these parts for making another printer. We can make a Frankenstein printer. But yeah, anyway, we will definitely do the hangout thing. I really can't tell you how much I enjoy doing that. I will not be able to do that on days that Mike is hosting, obviously, or Dawn, because that would just be really rude and no fun. There's no fun in that at all. Although if I'm in a thing that's going to commit me to sticking around, I'll have to think about that one. All right. Anyway, you guys are awesome as always. Thanks for all the wonderful input on the ideas today. I will be on Discord soon-ish. I usually have it up, so you can certainly message me or, whatever, and I will get there eventually. So until then, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out and contributing to the discussion. And thanks for not fainting when I tore apart Tessa. But she's going to be something great. You just watch.